There is no peace here. All the trappings of peace, yes, all the silence and emptiness, but those are just shells. If you want peace, you have to find it in the life you left behind. You wake in a simple room of interlocking cinder blocks painted gray. One chair, one cot, one window filled with opaque gray. You can't tell whether the gray is outside air or the window pane itself. You will never know. It is like morning in half-light, a late morning after a dream. That's all. When I woke up here, Dad came to see me first. He showed me out of my room and explained how the cafeteria works. He called me Buddy and seemed maniacally happy about my arrival. "Wasn't expecting you this quick," he said. And then he laughed so wide I could see the metal fillings in his back teeth. He was nervous, a lot nicer than I was used to. I'm older than him here, and that was strange. We stole looks at each other like kids at a dance. Pretty soon my whole outlook on him changed. I'd always thought he was mean, but I started to see him as merely young, too young to expect much from. I hoped maybe I could teach him a thing or two, but nothing like that ever grew up between us. I don't know why, but he never told me about reliving. I found out about that on my own. A few decades later, my daughter Annie arrived, and I started going to see her. She was too young to die, breast cancer at 51, but she's older than me here. She seemed perfectly put together, neat black hair, big alert eyes, a stillness under every movement. I felt proud of her, though I had no credit coming. We would get together and share a meal, and I would try to give her advice about this place. I made a point of telling her about the reliving, how to control it, how to guide it. "Now that it's gone," I said, "your life is the only thing you have left." I told her how to concentrate in just the right way, to lock onto some detail or emotion from the moment in your life that you want to visit. Concentrate in the right way, I said, and the next thing you know, you're back in it for as long as you want, back in it to hunt for perfect moments. I told her to watch out for the bad times, though, how the bad times are always underneath even the happiest ones. I gave her the best advice I could. I was afraid she might be forgiving me in the same way I had forgiven Dad, holding me 1 or 2% less to blame due to my youth and ignorance. "Try sports," I said, suggesting some avenues for reliving. "You always liked sports." She was a nice woman, no thanks to me, so I didn't find out for years that she hadn't played a sport since she was 12, that she never attended a sporting event as an adult, and that she refused to let her son play football because she was scared he would get hurt. I am in the swimming pool, bob walking through the shallow end, water tugging against me as I try to speed up, and the pool is a chamber of sound, of children's cries and parents calling, and everybody shouting names, but none of them mine. I sink underwater and open my eyes in the stinging blue. It's like shade under there, legs like machine parts, moving without purpose against the pressure of silence. It's hard to keep straight, but it goes something like this. My father died first, then me, then my mother, my ex-wife, my daughter, Janet from down the hall, my son. Janet, the last woman in my life, the last chance at a real whatever, told me after she arrived that she didn't want to see me here. She was the first to turn. After I died, she'd started seeing a counselor. She said I had abused her emotionally. "Emotional abuse is every bit as harmful as physical abuse," she said, nodding certainly. "Every bit." "How would you know?" I said. "Even if I did abuse your emotions, did I ever hit you? Did anyone ever hit you? Physical abuse is probably a lot worse." This was fairly early in my death. I hadn't yet begun to prize relationships. She said, "You didn't love me enough. You didn't love me at all, maybe." "I absolutely did," I said, which wasn't true, not like with my wife, who I loved so much at one time that I felt like it could have destroyed me. Janet and I drifted together thanks to drink and the proximity of our apartments. I hadn't been aware that love was even hovering around our hemisphere. I'd always thought that was the good part about us.